What's up, y'all? How y'all doing? Y'all all right? Good, good, good. I'm getting ready to record this Business Principles Part 6, so I want y'all to join in so that y'all don't miss some of the information that I'm going to be passing down to you. Give me 1 second, get this rolling. All right. What's up, y'all? How y'all doing? Y'all all right? Good. Welcome back to Business Principles Part 6. This week we're talking about the business planning and the business identification. That way you can make the best decision on finding out which one you want to do more research on and which part of your business it fits. It will properly identify with the states and the government. Make sure everything is legal. This module will focus on the proper state filings and will lay the foundation for your business. We're going to talk about your business names, your branding and marketing. We're going to talk about how to make a mission statement. We're going to talk about the EINs, your types of service and products, and we're going to some market segmentations and some scope. So let's go ahead and dive right on in. I ain't going to do too much. All right, so the first filing we're going to talk about is the domestic nonprofit or your 501c3s. These are mainly things like your charitable organizations, your churches, your Red Crosses, things like that. These are organizations that get funding, from donations or people endowments, or they get grants and things of that nature. They're much more easier to get grants. So if you're providing a service like mentoring, if you're doing anything to help, or a disaster relief, those type of things are charitable organizations that help further along your business, trying to find out which one. These are non-tax entities. All right. Like I said again, donations, grants, and there's no personal liability. When we say no personal liability, there's a separation with businesses and these different filings that separate your personal from your business. All right. We want to make sure that there's a protection in between there. All right. And how funding is done, like I say, there's a multitude of ways, but there is in a nonprofit, there is no owners. There is no owners of a company that really own a 501c3 or nonprofit. It's pretty much like a board of directors, board of trustees. It's like a church. The pastor may, the family may have started the church, so they put people in place on their board of directors to make sure that vote stays in the family, whatever the case may be. But in most cases, most of them are usually people, can vote you in and out, and there's really no owners to that company. So they can be an executive director, and things of that nature. All right. Also, when we say nonprofit, now let's talk about how that money works. Let's just say, for instance, you may have $100,000 that you must use, throughout that year. By the end of that year, that fiscal year, that money must be down pretty much to zero. You must use all your money must be down pretty much to zero by the end of the year. All right. You don't want to show any profit at the end of the year, meaning that you want to stay right at the level. You want to use that money for what it's supposed to be used for. Whatever you assign it for, by the end of the year, that money, so you make money throughout the year, but that money that you're allocated for must be used by the end of the year. So, like I said again, they do make money, but they don't get taxed on it, and it must be used by a certain time of the year, and like I said, there's no federal tax on it. All right. The next one is the limited liability corporation, which is like again a protection, a separation from your personal assets from your business assets. Let's say, for instance, if you have your personal assets are here, you got your business. Your business is a lawn care service. If something happens where you get sued, the lawn care company gets sued. All right, your personal effects, so whatever you have in your personal ownership, they're not affected by the business. So anything that's anything that's under the LLC, that may be affected by it, but for the most part, it keeps it separate. All right, you can own multiple LLCs. All right, multiple LLCs. You can use multiple, put property. It's like I say, just learn the different ways you can use the LLC the best fits your business profile. Also, it helps with your business credit as well. You can file your personal, you can file all your LLC income and stuff like that on your personal taxes. So for instance, if you have an office in your home, you can write that out. It's deductions. Think about the deductions that you can get from your taxes. So if you have an office in your home, That's a deduction. You're using gas, transportation, anything that you're using toward the business can be written off on your taxes, and you can use it on your personal. So that way you can get some of the deductions and write some of that stuff off. Some of that, like gas. You got to go back and forth from passing out flyers. That's write that stuff up on your taxes. Save your receipts. All right, that's always a good thing. Like I said, but they ain't gonna just like the little McDonald's runs. They ain't gonna, that's not a write off. But if you're having a business dinner or you're having a lunch with clients or something like that, you can definitely write that off on your taxes as well. All right, a limited liability partnership, pretty much the same thing, same scope, but this is where an investor is just putting down the money, but you're doing the majority of the work. Okay, there's pretty much a split in ownership. All right, so that there's again a protection. All right, but just in case, let's just say, for instance, you want to quit the business or some way, shape, form, fashion, whoever has the majority stock of the stake, or whoever leaves, they take the majority stake of the partnership. All right, but they also, those shares transfer to the majority of the partner. So just make sure who you're going to partnership with. Make sure you know who you're going to partnership with, and you know the like I say, paperwork, documentation speaks louder than the conversation. So make sure you research that. Make sure you understand that. Now we go into the corporations. This is much bigger. These are like when you want to now, you're selling shares of your company. Now, let me give you before we go into shareholders and all that. Let me give you term. You have stakeholders, which are pretty much they don't really make too much of the decision. You're pretty much just a member. You get information. You don't have any ownership. You just pretty much you get information because you're part of the team. Now, when you're a shareholder means that you own a piece of the pie. All right, you own, like I said, you buy shares of Microsoft. You own a piece of the pie. Your money that you invested is making they taking that money to make the company better, and then sharing off with you the dividends or the profit. Okay, so taxes is one thing that's going to be very important that you must pay attention to when you're filing for S corp or C corp. All right, there's a double taxation rule when you're filing taxes. Okay. Like again, let's talk about shareholders. Shareholders, this is when you want to sell your shares or pieces of your company to bring in money to run and operate. Now there is, sometimes in shareholders, sometimes I get, invited to the shareholder meeting, make a vote or something like that. When I get, when they send me I guess my quarterly vote, I would have to call in or, go onto the site and make a vote. Those are, when you are a piece of the decision-making process. All right. So C corps are double taxation. They get corporate tax on the money, on the profits, and then the shareholders pay a tax on their dividends. All right. So everybody get a little tax on the end. All right. Everybody get a little tax. Now with S corps, there's what they call a pass-through. These are profits now they pass on the profits to the shareholders so they can avoid paying the corporate tax, and then the shareholders can file their personal taxes on the dividends on their personal taxes. So that way, I said it's a pass through. It's like it's just again the legality. You may make sure you understand those rules and understand how those taxes. Because now believe me, like I say again, one smart man. I gotta give Donald Trump his credit where it's due, because these are some of the things that he's used in order to stay on, in business. It's like I said, it's legal, ethical, and moral. All right. And like I said again, all he's doing is sharing stock or sharing stockholders. The stockholders putting money in the pot to make the corporation run a little better. All right. And they just want to say, man, I can't run a day to day. But if I'm giving you my money, I'm trusting in you to make sure that I make a profit. All right? All right. So now, I'll let you know the difference between the different filings. Now you go to do the research and find out which one best fits you. All right? All right. Now, when you're going into business planning, you got to find out what your why is. Why am I doing this? Why am I in business? Why do I want to go in business for myself? Now, one of the things that like I said, for me, is that I want to make sure I provide a service, and also I want to make sure that I don't I don't make others wealthy while I can be making but then my plan, make sure I can become a wealthy person as well. So I want to make sure that I don't have to, make other people rich, and I also want to make sure that I'm helping people. That's my why. All right. When you have that why in your mind, it gives you a better sense of, getting up and doing it more. All right. And why do you want to start it? I wanted to start because, again, people say I couldn't do it. So I want to make sure I do it. Excuse me, y'all. I'm still a little bit under the weather. All right. So when you're starting your business and when you want to think about what you're getting in business for, find out what your product or your service is. Is it solving a problem or is it fulfilling a need? You know, is it giving you? Is it filling? You know, is it solving a problem? Is your lawn care service solving a problem for? I would think so, especially for those our elders who are getting a little elder, they can't get out in that sun. Definitely it's gonna solve a problem for them. Definitely is. That skincare product is it helping. What is your product or service doing? Is it fulfilling? Those are the two things you must make sure it's doing. If it's not doing those two things, something ain't right. All right. And then again, think about what makes your business different from everybody else's that's doing the same thing you're doing. You know what I'm saying? What are those things that make you different? What makes your nail salon better than her nail salon? What makes your barbershop better than their barbershop? You see what I'm saying? Making sure you have a clear-cut vision on making sure that you stand out and make something, hey, you may be cutting hair, but hey, mine might be $30, his might be $50, but what makes his, come on, make sure you find out what makes you stand out, what makes you different, all right? Now, once you figure those things out, let's go over to the right and figure out, what is my overall mission? Okay, what's the overall mission? All right? And so most companies have a mission statement. Just one little line sometimes, maybe a paragraph, but it gives us a clear-cut direction of where I'm trying to go to ultimately, from 5 years from now to 10 years and not, honey, what is the thing that we want to make sure that we do the best? So, in order to do that, I broke this down so that you can write your own mission statement and find out where it is that you want to go. All right? So the first part of the mission statement that you'll find is going to be the verb, the action that you want to take. Some people want to produce things. Some people want to create things. Some people want to change things. I want to bring together people. All right? So that's my first thing. That's the action I want to take. I want to bring people together. All right? I want to make sure that you come together. And now, the noun, what, and where are we, who are you bringing together? The noun, the person, place, the thing. These are what I want to attract, all right? People of all different cultures and backgrounds, all right? And we're doing now. Next thing I want to do with them, let's give them the clause. What's the clause? What's the precise description? I want to educate you. I want to appreciate you. I want to empower you. You know what I'm saying? So you got to make sure that now, whenever we do, whatever I do, I think so. 3 things. I must make sure when I bring people together, I must educate them. I must appreciate them, and I must empower them. So that's my mission. That's the mission. Overall goal, whatever I do, now it may go, it's a little longer and in its full entirety mission statement, but that statement right there says it all. Who am I working with? All cultures and backgrounds. What you gonna do with them? I'm gonna educate them, appreciate them, empower. Okay. Bam. So you gotta make sure it gotta be a part of you when you say that, All right? It gotta be a part of you. It gives him a really just give you whenever you bring somebody in, what's the mission? Where we trying to go? All right? Next, when you talk about your business, you want to go into a part of branding yourself. You want to pretty much branding. Think about branding. When you think about certain things, it's just etched in your mind. What is it saying? When you see that Air Jordan symbol, what do you think about? You think about quality. You think about Jordan. You think about the different styles he got. You think about there's certain things that just that's branded in your mind. You don't have to have to say his name. You just got a symbol. Like Prince, you got a symbol. Like Mercedes, you don't have to say Mercedes. You just know what the Mercedes. You know what the golden arches are. Hold on, you even know what the golden arc is. These are branding mechanisms. The NBA sign. The NFL sign. There's certain things that's etched in your mind. It's called the branding mechanism. All right? It's the image or words you want your customers to associate with your business. Okay? When you think about them golden arches, I think about so many things come to mind when I think about the golden arches. I think about Ronald McDonald. I think about the Happy Meal. I think about the McFlurry. I think about, I think about the 10-in-1 meat, that 4-in-1 meat. It's certain things that you think about that is etched in your mind. I think about billions served. Okay, when you think about that checkerboard with that rallies on, you think about race car, you think about that big Buford, you think about that that onion smell. There's certain things when you think about that. Oh, that. Hold on. When you think about that one symbol, oh, and it just makes you feel, just fall in love. That heart symbol, it's etched in your brain, and what do you associate with it? Love, Valentine. So branding brings awareness and it prompts your customers and your clients to make a selection. All right, and it unlocks profitability. All right. So certain people, they see certain signs. You know what? It just happened to me a few minutes ago. It just happened to me a minute ago. I wanted something to eat, right? And I'm riding. I said, I'm trying to figure out. I was sitting in the driveway for a minute. And I said, what do I want to eat? So as I'm riding the street, I'm thinking I'm about to go up here to probably Five Guys. But the trigger in my head, when I see that Taco Bell sign, it just made me think, oh, $7 box. From the commercial I had said earlier, but also it made me think about some of the gordita, the dog, quick and easy. It not too heavy on, it's real quick. It's just so many things that I thought about the branding. It was in my mind, that it just stuck. It was quick and convenient. But branding and marketing go hand in hand. All right? The keys to your branding, the keys to branding is making sure that your name, your logo, and your image is all consistent. One thing about it, you may have seen different shapes of the lion, but it's always been the lion. It's always been the lion. We've always wanted that royalty to be filled out with you, with anything I've done, whether it was my subsidiaries, Royal Kingdom, it was still royalty. It was still something with royalty in it. If it was anything I've done, Premier Entertainment, boom, royalty. Now that I understand the keys of branding, now I have the shield, which is showing that we're protecting ourselves from any hurt, harm, or danger, protecting ourselves from any negativity, and we're fighting the good fight with the crest. It's going to make sure that we stay consistent in that image, in that name. When you think about New Legacy, think about that. Just think about the name, New Legacy. What does it bring? What does it say to you? Oh, it's starting something new, and it's something that's going to be long-lasting or passing down. Oh, new legacy. Oh, it's just... So my symbol must symbolize that. My logo must symbolize that. That name must, and that image must go all hand in hand. You got to develop a distinct difference that your business is relevant and beneficial to all the target markets that you're trying to hit with. All right. Solid foundation and discipline to protect your brand. Spending what is necessary. You got to spend money to make a little money. All right. The goal is to connect in a way that your customers just know it's you. They just know it's you. They know what to expect. Your consistency builds your brand. All right, your consistency builds brand. Hold on, that's not it. That ain't it. Hold on. You might think I move too fast. But your consistency builds brand. You want to make sure that you understand that you are going to be putting yourself in a place where people must recognize you, and when they say your name, what does it correlate with? You know what I'm saying? When you say certain names, when you think about Death Row Records, when you think about Death Row Records, is that where, is that the image that you want to portray? Is that the thing that you want to, what do you think about when you say Death Row Records? Okay? What do you think about when you say Death Row Records? Alright? So now, one thing I want to this is what I want to go over. I messed up here a little bit. But the process of marketing, it creates the win-win for you and your customers and your clients. Alright? Your customers and clients. You're providing, it's pretty much a supply and demand. They demand some kind of service or some kind of product from you, and you're supplying that demand. So it's a win-win. All right, marketing goes hand in hand. Think about this. Think about what commercials are being played during what time. I remember back in the day when they used to, when we was watching, go to grandma's house during 12:30, 1 o'clock, they used to have Young and the Restless on, right? And Young and the Restless, during that time, they sold Pampers. They was, they had marketing for Pampers, feminine hygiene products, cleaning products, things of that nature, right? They had an order in which they, pretty much sold their products to people. Super Bowl or football. We're selling beer. We're selling chips. We're selling cars during these certain times. So you want to make sure that your market, wherever you can fit, you gotta, hey, fit your marketing towards your market segments. All right. Where do most people, let's say if you market it to young people, where do young people hang out at? You want to find out where they're at. You know what I'm saying? What types of what environments they like to be in. Find your market. All right. Marketing is you got to tailor it straight to who you're trying to market it to. All right. If you're trying, like I said again, Ronald McDonald, he wanted to attract the kids. I'm gonna attract the kids by giving them the Happy Meal with a little toy inside. All right. I want you to come to kids at Toys R Us. I'm gonna talk to the kids first. Show them how fun it can be for the oh mommy, I want that. Now it strikes a chord where now it's got a reaction. All right. Again, the supply and demand, but the message that you send to your marketing is going to be key. It's going to be very key. All right. How are you getting the word out? How are you getting the word out? How do you keep are you passing out flyers? Are you doing social media? Are you shaking hands and kissing babies? You got to make sure you get that word out. How do you get that word out? All right. Now, one thing that we all should be looking at when we go to buy anything is quality. Quality. People buy certain types of, let's just say, you might buy Toyota because you know the quality of Toyota. You've been buying Toyota for years, and Toyota is the brand that you like. All right, you've been enjoying. You know Jordan's gonna be your brand. You buy it because of the quality. Okay, pretty much. I know they ain't gonna tear up. They gonna last me a long time. However, you buying it because of the quality. And now, when you as a business owner, you have to think about these things that people are buying for. Why are people buying? Why are these services selling so good? Because they think about these 5 things. First of all, they think about pricing. How much is it gonna cost me? All right. The second thing is about, again, the quality. How is it? How long is it going to last me? Also, how am I going to look in it? How is it going to look in my house? How is it going to look on me? How is it going to look, the image of it? Also, location. How far do I have to travel for this? Is it convenient? All right. And also, they like Sally and clearance. Sales, people love sales and they love some clearance. So you got to make sure that those are the things you making sure that's out there for them to buy from you. All right? So you gotta make sure you spend some money in your advertising, your promotion, your publicity, public relations, market research, and your market share. Now, when we talk about market share, let me give you a perfect example of a market share. Market share is you got 3 phone companies. You got Verizon, you got AT&T, you got T-Mobile. Now, in this particular area, let's just say T-Mobile has 45% of the market share, meaning that they pretty much got the customer base sold up, and everybody else got the rest.